Hello class, my name is Paige Garcia and I decided to do my research project on the Manyoshu, or collection of 10,000 leaves. The Manyoshu was written during the Nara period. The two major religions in Japan at this time were Buddhism and Shinto. Both of these religions had an influence on the authors of the Manyoshu. Japanese writers during the Nara period were less influenced by Chinese writers and began to develop their own unique style. There were three major works during the Nara period. These were the Manyoshu, the Nihon Shoki, and the Kojiki. The Nihon Shoki and Kojiki discuss the origins of Japan, while the Manyoshu focuses on artistic poetry rather than storytelling like the other two. The Manyoshu poems express more emotion. There are two types of poems in the Manyoshu. The first is tanka, which are shorter poems. The second is choka, which are longer poems. The longer poems of the Manyoshu express much more emotion than the shorter poems of later periods, such as the Heian period. The Manyoshu poems are much more artistic and convey more information and emotion. Nara period poems are very clear, simplistic, and very easy to understand. The Manyoshu is composed of poems which were written by many different authors. These authors came from various backgrounds. Some were from higher classes while others were poorer. Both men and women wrote the poems. Even though there were many authors involved in writing the Manyoshu, all of the poems are very cohesive and have similar themes. Themes that are common among the poems of the Manyoshu are nature, sadness, love, and nostalgia. The nature theme is not only present in this anthology, but in literature from later Japanese periods. This seems to suggest that nature is important in Japanese culture. The Manyoshu style aligns with overall Japanese culture. Japanese spirit is simple and straightforward. The Manyoshu poems are similar in that they are simplistic without any unnecessary additions. However, this does not mean that they are not very powerful. Their messages and emotions are clearly evident to the reader. They frequently use imagery combined with poetic phrases to get the emotions across. The influence of Buddhism can be seen in the Manyoshu poems. An important aspect of Buddhism is impermanence. As we learned in class, impermanence is viewed as a thing of beauty and as a part of life. Various poems mention the impermanence of life, love, time, and the seasons. Several poems mention the loss of loved ones or the loss of love. This theme of impermanence often seems to go hand in hand with the theme of nostalgia. In many of the poems, the authors reminisce about their past experiences and the emotions that they felt during that time. Another religion that had an influence on the authors of the Manyoshu was Shinto. Shinto is Japan's native religion. It focuses on the relationship between human, kami, or gods, and nature. Nature is spoken about as if it has human characteristics, and the kami are also mentioned in the Manyoshu. An example of this comes from the poem titled An Elegy on the Death of Furuhi. The narrator mentions both the gods of heaven and the gods of earth.